Okay. All right. This is case number 234467001, the people of the state of Michigan versus Cecilia Henry. The defendant is charged with one count of moving violation causing death, and today is the date set for sentencing. Appearances, please.
For the record, Your Honor, Christina Ritter on behalf of the people. I also have family members on behalf of Mr. Eldridge's, the deceased complainant witness in this matter. Your Honor, I will start with Ms. Tiffany Eldridge, if she can unmute.
Well, let me interrupt you, Ms. Ritter. With respect to the family members, only if they're going to speak do I need their names for the record. Okay.
Understood. Okay. So, Ms. Eldridge, can you unmute and state your name, please?
Tiffany Eldridge.
And I do see two other individuals standing in the back. Will they be making a victim impact statement as well, Ms. Eldridge?
Yes.
Okay. Can I have their names for the record?
Kelvin Eldridge.
Kelvin Eldridge.
I didn't hear the female's first name. I'm sorry.
How was she?
I'm Tiffany.
No, the other female.
Larica Eldridge. Larica Eldridge.
Okay, thank you.
And then Ms. Payne, can you unmute yourself and state your name for the court?
Yes, Tyra Payne.
And Judge, Ms. Payne does have on here where that is for religious purposes.
Yeah, it looked appropriate.
Thank you. And the young man that's in your background, Ms. Payne, will he be making a victim impact statement today?
John L. Eldridge.
Thank you.
Okay, today is the date set for sentencing. The court has had an opportunity to review the pre-sentence report. With respect to the pre-sentence report itself, are there any additions, deletions, or corrections on behalf of the people?
Judge, the people had an opportunity to review the pre-sentence report. I don't see any additions, deletions, or corrections on our end.
With respect to the pre-sentence report, are there any additions, deletions, or corrections on behalf of the defense?
Thank you, Your Honor. I did have the opportunity to review the pre-sentence investigation report with Ms. Henry. We do find it to be factually correct, Your Honor. We have no additions or deletions at this time.
Okay, so hearing no additions, deletions, or corrections, then does that mean with respect to plea agreement that there was none?
That is correct, Judge.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. Then with respect to sentencing, on behalf of the people.
Judge, on behalf of the people, just going to page 4. Under victim impact statement, the probation did indicate that they spoke with family members regarding any funeral expenses, and there is a total. I just spoke with Ms. Tiffany Eldridge, and I did get a copy of the receipts that were sent to probation from Ms. Eldridge. The people are asking the court to set the first review as a restitution hearing as well, so the people have an opportunity to review those receipts and see what would be appropriate for restitution in this case, Your Honor.
Okay.
And Judge, again, the family members are here today via Zoom. And Ms. Eldridge did indicate that there were family members who did want to give a victim impact statement on behalf of the family members of Mr. Rosella Eldridge, Judge. So I'll start with Ms. Tiffany Eldridge, if she would like to give her victim impact statement first.
All right, Ms. Eldridge.
Good morning. Thank you, Your Honor. I think I'm going to just decline. It's so hurtful. And it's just unbelievable that this lady has done this and is receiving potentially this type of, probation has taken a life. I mean, it is just beyond me. As a citizen, as a motorist, as a professional, as a family member, and I just don't know what to say. Because nothing I can say will bring him back. I'm just outdone as an investigator myself. I am just really outdone about this situation.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
I have about the same feelings.
Okay.
And
Okay, well, hold on. It sounds like there's someone speaking off camera.
This is Larica Eldridge. I was telling my daughter I have this same feelings. I submitted a impact statement to you back in I believe it was October. And I
Okay,
the
so
strength
pause
in
right
me.
there. Pause right there. Miss Ritter, she says she's saying she submitted a victim impact statement to me. I don't know what she means by that.
So Judge, there were some
Sorry.
I'm sorry. There were some victim impact statements that were submitted to the prosecutor's office and to the court regarding the Eldridge family. Now, I don't know, I can't speak on the ones that were submitted to the court, but the ones that were submitted to the prosecutor's office, they were scanned in, but I didn't see them as part of this case. So that's why I offered the family an opportunity to speak, because I didn't see them scanned in to share on behalf of the Eldridge family for today's sentencing purposes.
Mr. Flanagan, did you receive any victim impact statements? Are there any victim impact statements in the file?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so Miss Eldridge,
Yeah.
the Miss Eldridge that was speaking to me just now about the victim, when you say you submitted it to the court, I'm going to spotlight it again so I can see you. When you say you submitted the victim impact statement to the court, where did you submit that?
I sent it with your name and to 36th District Court.
Okay. Ms. Projetsky, the mail that was received, have we received any victim impact statements from?
No, and I just recently checked it at the end of last week, Thursday or Friday.
Okay. So let me apologize on behalf of the court. Mr. Flanagan, can you call the mail room and find out? She says she sent me some mail in October with my name on it, addressed to 36th District Court. So can you just call and see if they have any? I don't know what that would be. Okay, so again, I apologize that I have not received your victim impact statement, your written victim impact statement, nor is it in the pre-sentence report, which I will say normally, if the probation department received a victim impact statement, they would usually also attach it to their report. So again, I apologize. So ma'am, would you like to make any further statement, or is that?
No, not at this time.
Okay. All right, thank you. Miss Ritter.
Thank you, Judge. And the young man that's in camera, would you like to make a victim impact statement at this time?
Yes. My name is Kelvin Eldridge. I'm the youngest brother of Rosella Eldridge. First of all, I'd like to say to Ms. Henry that the impact of the loss of my brother affects me every day, especially since I'm a bike rider myself. And I'm extra cautious when I'm riding, but just the thought of someone running me over all the time is always in the back of my head. Me losing my brother means I won't have my brother with me. Annually, my family goes camping every year. This is the time when we reflect on things we've been through. So I won't have my brother there. I didn't have him here last summer when we went camping. I want to say to you, first of all, that I forgive you. I hope, I don't want you to have to carry a burden of condemnation with you all the time, but I hope that by the court showing this leniency in your case, that you take full advantage of it, because my brother was living his life well. and whatever happened with you that day that caused you to act out in a reckless manner, I don't know, but I hope that you take this opportunity and correct that behavior, because maybe this situation happened before you did more damage to someone else. And I want you to think about that. I'm not here to, I don't even have energy to, I'm not here to try to make you feel bad about this, because I understand this. I know universal law. You took a life, so you have to deal with that yourself. But I just want you to slow down, because there could have been more lives that you could have taken. Luckily, I'm grateful that my brother was living his life correctly, and I'm confident that from a spiritual perspective that his life was a testament to doing good. So just take this opportunity and just slow down, correct some things in your life, and be grateful for this court showing leniency to you on this. The holiday season coming, you're going to be with your family. I don't have my elder brother here with me, so you took that from us, and I just want you to understand that. But I don't want you to go out and let this burden of life overwhelm you to the point where you do something else reckless. Just take this opportunity and turn some things around in your life. That's all I got to say.
Last.
Ms. Ritter?
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Tyra Payne, if you would like to give a victim impact statement, I'd like you to do so now.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, good morning to everyone, Judge and everyone. I would just like to say that to Miss Henry, I forgive you because I want to be forgiven. From my understanding, there were a lot of distractions. I viewed the video and I saw all the other cars braking because they seen him. When you went around the other cars and they were braking, it was just devastating. And because of my line of work, I'm a driver and I'm always paying attention to the roads. Anybody knows me, I'm slow down, keep your eyes open, be aware of your surroundings. And so I was at work driving when I got the call. I didn't answer my phone because when I'm driving, I don't answer my phone. I feel like that's what I have voicemail for. When I get to a safe place, then I will respond. So when I got to a safe place, for some reason that day, I asked my daughter if she could come and drive me somewhere. So when she got there, I answered the phone, answered the call, and this is what I heard. So once again, I would like to say I forgive you. From a spiritual point, I don't know how spiritual you are or if you're a believer. I must forgive you because that's what the Lord wants us to do. But as far as being distracted, a distracted driver, these are the results of being distracted. You don't have to text. You don't have to answer the phone. Our jobs is to pay attention to the road while we're on the road. I'm not sure if you had a family emergency that morning, getting to where you needed to go to, or something happened in your life. But this is a leniency, like my brother said, that they're giving you. You get a chance to enjoy your family. And I'm pretty sure for the holidays, I don't know if people drink and smoke and party like they do. But there's other people's lives out there. And you're going to spend time with your family. And your family's going to be, oh, you won this case. You know, they're going to hug you and things like that. While we won't be able to hug our brother anymore. Every time I'm in a vehicle, I have anxiety. I take medication for that now. Because my life has changed because of a distracted driver. We just lost my brother, buried my brother, and someone hit me being distracted and almost took my life. And now I have difficulties being in a vehicle to drive. So as you sit with your family without any jail time, I don't know. I don't want to take up too much time, but your mind is going to be racing. All I could just say is, God forgive you. And as you accept this time, I hope that you will get your life together. Because if you feel like you got away with something, a bigger tragedy will come if you continue to be negligent. So I'm praying for my family, that my family will continue to have forgiveness in their heart, because that's how we were raised, to forgive. And this is our ultimate forgiveness that you will receive. And so thank you, court, for allowing us to be able to express our feelings. This is a very difficult one. Like I said, my life has been changed. Not only was my brother life taken because of a distracted driver, my life was almost taken from a distracted driver. What, a month from him? And it was terrible. So I'm gonna let that be. So as you sit in your quiet moments, those very quiet moments, I want you to be like me and my family. Continue to always think about my brother, Rosella Eldridge. And that's going to be it for me. And then my other brother wants to say something. I guess they'll let him know when. Thank you for that time.
Okay. Miss Ritter?
Thank you. Mr. Eldridge?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm kind of speechless, and I was thinking back to when we had wrote our impact statements, and the closer we got to this day, I didn't know how I was going to do, how I was going to feel about what I had said on this, on my victim impact statement. But I thank the court for this opportunity. I wanted to see the face of the person that took my brother's life. Of course, I had a lot of anger. I have a lot of misunderstanding about how things work. Myself has been involved in the system, and I have kind of seen how things work, and I'm not in total agreement with how things are going. But at the same time, I can remember back when I asked for mercy and it was given. And now listening to like my brothers and sisters, and I know how we all feel. We wake up every day with a loss. We have minors in the family, and every day we're still explaining how Uncle Andre is not coming back. We're still explaining that. And it's really weird because we still find people still see us on the street every now and then and say, well, how's your brother? And I have to tell them I don't know. But anyway, myself being a spiritual person, I do say that I forgive you. I'm not in total agreement with how things are going. I do believe in the system. I do believe that some things are just, you don't get a tap on the hand for. And like my brother also said, I hope that you take this opportunity to reflect on how things could have been different and how things like something like this shouldn't happen again. I wanted to mention, just prior to this happening, we had kept some things from kind of kept some things from each other. But like my baby sister said, that after my brother's death, less than 2 weeks after my brother's death, and we was doing the funeral, my only child was hit from behind and almost killed because someone wasn't paying attention. My only child, right after my brother, and we kept it from some of the other family members because we didn't want them to be all because of what had just happened and everything. I will, when it comes to motor vehicles and traffic laws and different things like that, I believe that they should be enforced to the utmost. To the utmost. I don't want to take up a lot of time. Again, I do forgive you, because without forgiving you, I cannot be forgiven. I cannot say that I love Christ without forgiving you. Just hope that throughout your years that you would not forget about our brother, because we won't. And because of what happened, you yourself will always be a part of our life. You will always be a part of our life. And when I go to my prayer closet, I won't forget your name either. And I'll always hope that you would be a better person in life. Thank you. Thank you. I'm done.
Okay. Ms. Ritter, anything further from the people?
Judge, I believe that's everyone who wanted to give a victim impact statement on behalf of the family for Mr. Rosella Eldridge. And with that being said, Judge, I believe that's it on behalf of the people.
Okay. Ms. Stevenson, anything on behalf of Ms. Henry?
Thank you, Your Honor. Personally, as well as on behalf of Ms. Henry, personally, I would extend my condolences to the family. This is a hard place that I'm familiar with, and I extend my condolences to the family. I would just take exception to I'm not sure who said it, but one of the family members said that, they are required to forgive and they have to forgive. Well, I believe that forgiveness is a requirement, but I believe we have a choice to forgive. And I commend you for making that choice to forgive, because even though it's required, you don't have to do it. So you are to be commended for choosing to forgive. And I believe with everything in me that Ms. Henry agrees with that. Having had the opportunity to interact with Ms. Henry, I, as a member of the legal community, do not want you left with the impression that this has not been, not to the same extent that you have experienced devastation, but this has been a devastating, horrifying experience for Ms. Henry. She is very sorry. And I'm not sure that she knows even yet what to do about that. And it is a burden. I want you to feel confident that it's a burden, not that you want her to feel burdened, but I want you to know that she feels burdened. She expressed to me that she does not sleep. She will not be driving. So you can be confident that the law is doing something to protect you and something to give you some kind of help in this situation. She has to turn her car in today because her license has been suspended and she can't insure it. So she won't have a car and she won't be driving. That is an act of responsibility on her part, because I know that we all know too well that there are people who would drive anyway. But I want you to know that Cecilia Henry will not be one of those people. Miss Henry has made just, a horrible mistake. She is not a bad person. She's not. I don't know if she had any kind of traffic problems before. I think if this is the first ticket that she got, it was, I think maybe the second, according to the investigation that was done by the 36th District Court Probation Department. But she won't be driving. And she won't be forgetting about your family. And she won't be forgetting about Andre. This is tragic all around, and I want you to feel confident of that. Ms. Henry, I believe, has something to say to you.
Ms. Henry, unmute yourself if you want to speak, ma'am.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm so scared and so sorry. I don't know what to say other than, I'm sorry.
Okay, does that conclude your statement, Ms. Henry?
Ma'am, I can't think of anything right now, but I'm sorry. I'm hurting. I'm sorry.
All right.
It happened.
Okay, the court is ready to impose a sentence. I'm going to, of course, make a few statements and observations. So, having heard, first I want to again apologize to the Eldridge family. I have no idea what happened to your victim impact statements, and I apologize. We're going to try to track them down. Of course, it'll be post-sentencing, but I do believe that they deserve to be a part of the record that you submitted. So I apologize for that. I also want to apologize for not. Okay, I want to acknowledge that's what I want to do. I want to acknowledge. And I was debating if I was going to say anything with respect to this, but I do want to acknowledge a complaint that was received from your family about something I said at the last court hearing. And I don't know if you all were in the courtroom or present. I think I had already sent you to the breakout room when an individual came and I was trying to identify them. And the individual said that he was here on a traffic matter. And then my immediate response to him was, well, I don't do traffic tickets, so let me give you the phone number. So the last time you all were here, one of your family members, I believe, came in and she said she was here for a murder case. And I said, I don't do murder cases. And I understand from the chief's office that she took offense to that. So I want to acknowledge that complaint. I want to say that, of course, I didn't mean any ill intention towards the person, and I don't know if they're present today, but it's my automatic thing that I say. If a person comes on and they have a case that I don't handle, that is just like the automatic thing that I say. And so, perhaps I'll have to look at that in the future. But additionally, I see from your from your impact statements, and I think it was, I apologize also, I'm not going to be able to remember everyone's name. I usually rely on the name that's, on the screen, but the gentleman that's sitting with the young lady, the brother, he was the last one to speak. And you indicated that you don't agree with how it's being handled. I also think Ms. Tiffany Eldridge said, that she couldn't believe, basically that Ms. Henry is going to just get, sort of like what we would call in this process a slap on the wrist. And I want to say and also acknowledge that, there probably may be, depending on what perspective you look at it from, a flaw in the system. A lot of times people misunderstand a judge's authority with respect to cases. I often try to explain to people that I'm not the legislature and I'm also not the prosecutor. So it starts with the legislature, who decides that there are situations that for some reason, in their opinion, even if it causes death, that it does not rise to the level of a felony. That's a legislative decision. And sometimes when people suffer loss, they become advocates for changes of law, right? I can't tell your family what to do in that regard, but sometimes people become advocates for changes of law when they themselves suffer a situation that they think is unfair, and sometimes it results in a change of law, right? And then the other piece is then the prosecutor's office. So once the prosecutor's office has options, then they decide how they're going to charge the case. And so when they charge these particular cases and then they show up on my docket, I'm already prepared that the family members may be angry about the fact that they've lost a loved one, that their loved one is no longer alive, yet the person is sitting in my courtroom, which is the misdemeanor courtroom. And unfortunately, there's nothing that I can do to make this a felony. And so here we are. Here we sit in the misdemeanor courtroom. I'm also of the opinion that when people show up in the misdemeanor courtroom, it is an opportunity for the misdemeanor court, because in general, we're only going to have a person in front of us for maximum. We could potentially have a person for 5 years on probation. Like the case could potentially be a 5-year probationary case. In general, we have people for 93 days, which means we could potentially have them for 2 years. And then this particular misdemeanor is the highest level for the type of misdemeanors that we handle, which is a 1-year misdemeanor. I believe that when a person shows up in the misdemeanor courtroom, it is an opportunity for us to try to change their thinking, for us to try to change their behavior. While prison is supposed to be a place where we look for people to be rehabilitated, it is not. It is not, in most cases, a place of rehabilitation. And so when the people do show up here in the misdemeanor courtroom, I attempt, sometimes it's not always successful, but I attempt to make a change in their lives, in their behavior, in their thoughts, and all of that. Ms. Henry, I have only read the report. I have not seen the video. The prosecutors, after reviewing the video, decided to give you this opportunity here and charge you with a misdemeanor. Ms. Henry, what I'm going to say is I don't know what I would do or think or feel if my loved one died and the person who was responsible for that death was charged with a misdemeanor. I don't know how I would feel. I don't know what I would say. I don't know how I would think. Even being a judge and knowing that there is such a thing, I don't know where that would take me emotionally, right? I believe that you are remorseful. However, I hope that these type of cases will show people to drive responsibly, right? To drive responsibly. I don't know if you were distracted or if you were just impatient, Ms. Henry. People, for those who know me, my friends and family, they know that if somebody rides real close to me on the street, I'm going to slow down, right? If somebody comes up to me and they riding on me, I'm going to slow down because I want to make them slow down. Now, sometimes it doesn't work and they'll speed around me trying to get where they're going. Well, this is what I have to say about that. I don't know where you were going that day, Miss Henry. I don't know what you were doing and I don't know what you were thinking. Now, the report says that you went around to try to avoid hitting the cars in front of you. But let me tell you what that says, Miss Henry. That says you were going too fast and you weren't paying attention. Because if you were, and you may have been riding too close. You might have been one of those people riding too close to the car in front of you where you're supposed to have a car length between you. The reason for the law about the car length between you is that if the car in front of you suddenly stops, you have enough space to also stop because you're supposed to be paying attention to what's going on in front of you. Whatever happened, you didn't do that day, Ms. Henry, and it caused a loss that these individuals will never be able to feel with. They can't bring their loved one back, right? I'm a biker too. Somebody said they were a biker. I'm a biker too, and then it bothers me when people park in the bike lane, right? It bothers me when you don't, kind of look out for the bikers and whatnot. And so we have to just be more responsible in our driving. I am ready to impose sentence, but I do see the hand up of Miss Eldridge's device. Did you need to say something else to me?
I just want to say thank you for acknowledging, as you did, that that form that was filled out. And thank you also for acknowledging, legislation, et cetera, because I am the Equal Employment Opportunity Officer for the Michigan Department of Transportation. And so it's very interesting that this happened a month after I took my tenure. And so, that's as we look at how we do mobility in Michigan and throughout the country and bike lanes and things like that. This has been brought to the forefront of a lot of the top officials, right? Because, hey, it's something that happened to their colleague. And it's just really unfortunate. But I'm glad that you addressed that, the process is the process. And we have to follow the process if we, as the people, do not like, what has been set forth, because we are changing, right? Things are evolving and how we do mobility, because everyone doesn't do the motorized vehicles. But that's all I want to say. But thank you.
You're welcome. So, Miss Henry, I am ready to impose sentence, and I'm going to do so as follows. Now, Miss Henry, let me tell you something about me. Miss Henry, I'm straight no chaser, and it kind of gets me in trouble sometimes. I was watching this one judge on court TV doing this trial, and she was just so like, I don't know, her personality was just so whatever. The lawyers were like disrespecting her and stuff, and she just, she just wouldn't, I almost didn't even acknowledge their disrespect. And then she would just, repeat like, well, I've already ruled or whatever. And I said to one of my friends, I said, I watched her and that's not me. And I don't want it to be me. Now, sometimes my passion for, justice may not go over the way I guess they wanted to in terms of judges, but I'm going to tell you something about me, Miss Henry. Before a person is convicted, meaning before a person pleads guilty or is found guilty, I believe wholeheartedly in that person's constitutional rights, that they are innocent until proven guilty. I don't care what the video shows. I don't care what the, report shows. I am wholeheartedly a person who believes that an individual accused of a crime is completely innocent until proven guilty. And a lot of times, Miss Henry, when I'm in the pre-conviction mode, dealing with the person, I'm accused of being pro-defense. I'm accused. I've never been a defense attorney in my life, I've never been a criminal defense attorney in my life. Well, I'm not being honest. A small part of my practice at one point was criminal defense. And then people accuse me of being pro-defense. But Miss Henry, at the point of conviction, which means you plead guilty or you're found guilty, now I'm completely from the perspective of it is time for you to pay for the crime that you have been convicted of within the limits provided by law. And then sometimes when I'm in that mode, people accuse me of being pro-prosecution. Well, let me tell you, I'm pro-justice. I'm right in the middle where I'm supposed to be. Before you're convicted, your rights are protected. Once you are convicted, you are convicted. Miss Henry, I believe that you are remorseful. I accept that you feel bad about what happened. And now I'm interested in you changing your behavior, your thoughts, your everything else about you. I'm also going to tell you, Miss Henry, that for these type of cases, this is how I feel. Even though it's a misdemeanor, we're never going to act as if nobody died. So even though it's a misdemeanor, and all I have are the tools within the misdemeanor sentencing, we're never going to act like somebody didn't die. So when you approach this probation, you have to approach it from the standpoint that somebody died and that I have like this much room for error. Because at the moment that it appears to this court that you are not taking this probation and this opportunity serious, I am going to revoke your probation. Miss Henry, I often say in this courtroom that probation is the alternative to jail, and jail is the alternative to probation. You are going to have to lean into this probation with everything you have. It has to be your priority, because I'm not going to accept excuses for why you can't do this probation. There's only going to be one excuse I'm going to accept with respect to the fines, costs, and fees, not the restitution, but the fines, costs, and fees, because the law requires that if you're unable to pay the fines, costs, and fees, then I have to do an ability to pay, and I will convert that to community service. That's the only thing you're going to have space to tell me that you can't do. Other than that, I'm not going to be interested. So I'm letting you know up front that this is grace and mercy still in the room. Grace and mercy. Okay. I am going to accept the recommendation from probation for a 24-month, 2-year probationary period. Ms. Henry, I do believe that this case is actually the maximum penalty is a 5-year probation, but I'm going to sentence you to a 2-year probation. I'm also, Ms. Henry, however, going to sentence you to 6 months in the Wayne County Jail. I'm going to hold the 6 months in abeyance. Calm down, Ms. Henry. come back forward. Miss Henry, come back forward. Miss Henry, come back forward. Now, I need you to listen to what I'm saying. I'm going to sentence you to the 6 months in the Wayne County Jail. I'm going to hold the 6 months in abeyance. That means, Miss Henry, that the 6 months is going to be at the end of the probation. And if you have been a great and model probationer, if you are as remorseful as you have told this family that you are, then you won't have to do the 6 months. I'll hold it in abeyance. And if you do what I'm asking you to do or ordering you to do, you won't have to do the 6 months. But then also let me be clear about this. If I have to revoke your probation, right? If I have to revoke the probation, meaning you just utterly failing and you're not doing what I'm saying doing, and you're going to do it the year. If I have to revoke the probation, you're going to do the year. Okay? So you're not going to jail now. And as long as you do what you're supposed to do, you probably won't go to jail at the end. But you have a potential to do 6 months or a year. Do you understand? I want you to unmute and tell me that you understand what I'm saying. You didn't, what you doing?
She needs help to unmute.
Oh,
There you
okay.
go.
Yes, I understand.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Henry. All right, so the court is going to impose 24 months probationary period. That would put a final review date of December the 18th of 2025. That's the final review date. You're going to come see me long before that, but that's the final review date, 2025, December 18th. I'm going to give you a 6-month review date of June the 18th. That's going to be your first review with me, June 18th, 2024. That review is going to be at 1:30 p.m. Okay. And then the court is going to impose the following conditions of your probation. And Ms. Henry, you don't have to try to write down what I'm saying.
Oh.
We're going to send you a copy of this order because it's going to be too much for you to write down. And I want you to kind of pay attention and listen. So the court is going to impose the mandatory cost of $210. I did note her source of income. So I'm going to, at this time, waive the attorney's fee. I am going to impose a $500 fine. I'm going to, restitution is to be determined. And we're going to set the restitution hearing for June 18th at 1:30. So that's, Mr. Flanagan, please make sure you put it on the docket for the restitution hearing. Is the most important, but also for the review.
Yes, ma'am.
The prosecutor will review the receipts that they have received, and the court will set restitution at that time. I am going to impose a reduced oversight fee. So the oversight fee I will reduce to $10 a month for a total of $240. A $100 pre-sentence investigation fee and $240 for a drug test. And I know already, Ms. Stevenson, that you're going to say, Your Honor, there was no alcohol involved in this, but she's going to test for me. I do
Ms.
know.
Henry expects that, Your Honor. We talked about that, so we're fine with that.
All right. So the total fines, costs, and fees without the restitution, is 1,050, nope, sorry. Oh, wait, I messed up. Okay, hold on. $1,530. And then with the following terms and conditions, ma'am, you shall not use or possess any illegal substance. You shall not use or possess any marijuana without a valid medical marijuana card. You shall not use or possess any opiates without a valid prescription and letter of explanation from the doctor as to why they need to prescribe such an addicting narcotic. You shall not consume any alcoholic beverages. You shall not drive without a valid driver's license. You shall submit to random urinalysis twice per month. And I believe that may be at the 36th District Court. Now, I've added the $240. That's actually only half of the urinalysis. So I'm only at the 36th District Court, I'm only charging her $5 per test. But if she tests somewhere else, she has to pay them directly, and then we'll adjust the urinalysis. You shall submit to a mental health evaluation. I'm going to impose these two conditions that I know, again, alcohol was not involved as far as I am aware, but I still want you to watch the victim's impact, to attend the victim's impact panel and view the consequences video, because notwithstanding the fact that it wasn't alcohol, we need to understand that our distracted driving, or rush driving, and all of those things can have the same impact as a drunk driver. Trying to eat your hamburger and looking over here has the same impact as a drunk driver. Trying to text while you're driving has the same impact as a drunk driver. So again, I don't know specifically what you were doing in the car or whether you were just in a hurry, but you're going to do both the victim's impact panel and the consequences video. You are going to do the driver's improvement program. If you have any tickets, which the report doesn't, the report says you don't have any, but know that you cannot have a balance with 36th District Court. You cannot have any outstanding warrants during the course of this probation. And I'm sorry, I think I got ahead of myself. You shall not violate any criminal law of any governmental unit. That means you can't get a new case. You must not leave the state of Michigan without permission from the court. That means you can't go on vacation. If it's out of the state of Michigan, you cannot go without consent of the court, okay? You must notify probation immediately of any change of your address, phone number, or employment status. And you must report to probation on a monthly basis. Ms. Henry, do not fail to report to probation. You don't only have to come see me on June 18th, but beginning January, you need to report in and check in with probation every month. Otherwise, that's a violation of your probation. I'm not going to accept that you didn't know. And if you can't reach a probation officer, then you need to call your lawyer, or you need to call your court, or call the courtroom. Okay. I'm also going to order that you attend the Choices program and the Marijuana Insight program. You have 2 years to do these things. Don't let it get overwhelming to you. Don't let it bombard, you have 2 years to do these things. And I want you to lean in. Oh, I think I missed one. I was going to order, did I say, where is it? I thought I checked it, but I may not have said it. I want you to submit to a mental health evaluation. So if I didn't say that, then I want her to submit to a mental health evaluation. We are going to mail a copy of the court's order to the address listed on the pre-sentence report, because there was no update to that address. And then probation is also going to contact you at the phone number ended in Anything further with respect to this matter?
Not from the people, Judge. Thank you.
On behalf of Ms. Henry, Your Honor, we are very grateful for the careful consideration that the court has given this case. She's very thankful for the opportunity, Your Honor, to do what she knows how to do to stay out of jail. And I give the court the assurances that I'm able to give that Ms. Henry will, as the court has ordered, lean into this probation. And again, to the family, we are very sorry for your loss. You have our condolences.
All right. Okay, then we are all set. If the family members want to see the final order, of course, on the restitution, then you are free to appear for the June 18th restitution hearing. The prosecutor just has to confirm the receipts and share them with the defense attorney, and then we will address restitution on June 18th. All right, we're all set. Everyone have a great day as much as you can. Stay safe, and as much as you can, have happy holidays. I know that this time of year is difficult for people who have loss. I've had loss. And you know, I understand. I can't say that I understand exactly how you feel, but I've lost a sister. And so I kind of, know a little bit about how you feel, and especially during the holiday season, but have a safe and peaceful holiday. And if you join us on June 18th, then we'll see you on June 18th. Everyone have a great day and stay safe.
Judge, could I have breakout with Ms. Henry before she signs off, please?
Yes. Okay, Ms.
Thank you.
Henry, I'm going to send you back to the breakout room. And in fact, I'll close them since nobody's in there. Recreate. All right, Ms. Henry, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2. Please accept to join that breakout room.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Yep.
All right. Whoops, the boxes are moving fast. I can't click everybody off. Okay. All right.